Antichrist. According to the Saints, from the book Antichrist by Yves Dupont. Nero will again reappear on earth as a messenger and forerunner of the evil one, who is coming for the devastation of the earth and the overturning of human race. Lactantius. One day we asked Saint Martin of Tours about the end of the world, and he said that Nero and the Antichrist would come first. Nero would subdue 10 kings and rule the countries of the West. A persecution he was to impose would go so far as to require the worship of heathen idols. Antichrist would first seize the empires of the East. He would have Jerusalem as his seat and imperial capital. Both the city and its temple were to be rebuilt by him. His persecution would require the denial of Christ's divinity and would by law impose circumcision on all. Finally, Nero himself was to perish at the hands of the Antichrist. In this way, the whole world and its people would be brought under his yoke until at Christ's coming, the impious imposter would be overcome. Sulpicius Severus. He shall sit in the temple of God as if he were Christ, and leading astray those who worship him. Saint Irenaeus. This accursed one is sent by the devil in order to lead men into error. Saint Hildegard. Antichrist will be born near Babylon. He will win the support of many with gifts and money. He will sell himself to the devil and thereafter will have no guardian angel or conscience. Saint Jerome. Dan, Moses said, is a lion's whelp, and in naming the tribe of Dan, he declared clearly the tribe from which Antichrist is destined to spring. Saint Hippolytus. Dan shall judge his people like another tribe in Israel. Let Dan be a snake in the way, a serpent in the path, that bite the horse heels, that the rider may fall backwards. Genesis chapter 49 verse 17-18. He will call together the whole people to himself out of every country of the dispersion, making them his own, as though they were his own children, and promising to restore their country and establish again their kingdom and nation, in order that he may be worshipped by them as God. Saint Hippolytus. The last judgment will be preceded by the impostor Antichrist, who will try to deceive men in 4 ways. By a false exposition of scriptures, wherein he will try to prove that he is the Messiah promised by the law. By working miracles, by handing out gifts, by inflicting punishments. Antichrist will rule the world from Jerusalem, which he will make into a magnificent city. Saint Anselm. For when he is come, and of his own accord concentrates in his own person the apostasy, and accomplishes whatever he shall do according to his own will and choice, sitting also in the temple of God, so that his dupes may adore him as the Christ. Saint Irenaeus. Antichrist will exceed in malice, perversity, lust, wickedness, impiety, ruthlessness, and barbarity of all men that have ever disgraced human nature. Hence St. Paul emphatically calls him the man of sin, the son of perdition, the wicked one, whose birth and coming is through the operation of Satan, in all manner of seduction and iniquity. Through his great power, deceit, and malice, he shall succeed in decoying or forcing to worship 2/3 of mankind. The remaining third part of men will continue true to the faith and worship of Jesus most steadfastly. But in his satanic rage and fury, Antichrist will persecute this brave and devout Christian during 3.5 years, and torture them with such an extremity of barbarity, with all the old and newly invented instruments of pain, as to exceed all past persecutors of the church combined. He will oblige all his followers to bear impressed upon their foreheads or right hand the mark of the beast, and will starve to death all those who refuse to receive it. Saint Cyril of Jerusalem. And the churches too will wail with a mighty lamentation, because neither oblation nor incense is attended to, nor a service acceptable to God. But the sanctuaries of the church will become like a garden watcher's hat, and the holy body and the blood of Christ will not be shown in those days. The public service of God shall be extinguished. Psalmody shall cease. The reading of scriptures shall not be heard. But for men there shall be darkness and lamentation on lamentation, woe on woe. At that time silver and gold shall be cast out in the streets, and none shall gather them, but all things shall be held on offense. For all shall be eager to escape and to hide, and they shall not be able anywhere to find shelter from the woes of the enemy. But as they carry his mark about them, they shall be readily recognized and declared to be his. There shall be fear outside and trembling inside, both by night and by day. In the streets and in the houses there the dead shall lie. In the streets and in the houses there shall hunger and thirst be. In the streets there shall be tumults, in the houses lamentation. And the beauty of countenance shall be withered, for their form shall be like those of the dead. And the beauty of women shall fade, and the desires of all men shall vanish. But in the spite of all this, not even then will the merciful and benignant God leave the race of men without some comfort. He will shorten even those days to the period of 3.5 years, and he will curtail those times on account of the remnant of those who hide in the mountains and caves, that the phalanx of all those saints fail not utterly. But this day shall run their course rapidly, and the kingdom of the deceiver and the Antichrist shall be promptly removed. And then finally, in the twinkling of an eye, shall the fashion of this world pass away, and the power of men shall be brought to naught, and all visible things shall be destroyed. Saint Hippolytus.